You have to be a little flexible on Hyde. You know that. You got to be a little flexible. You got to work something. You got to use ingenuity. You got to work. We're all big fans of everything, but you got to be flexible. You have to have flexibility.
You got to stop talking like that because you're creeping everyone out. What the hell is going on? So that's a president kind of being reasonable, sort of, in his goal. The way he communicates it, utterly weird. So what he's saying to the Republicans right there is we have to have something on healthcare. Not because he cares about the people or whatever, but because he knows there's a massive political liability for him. So he's saying you need to be flexible on the Hyde Amendment. And if you're gonna use weird drunk bedroom voice, it should probably be while talking about the provision that prevents federal funds from being used on abortion services, which is to many Republican congresspeople the most important thing that the government does. And there is no limit to how many overlapping laws and regulations there need to be that stop any money from going to an abortion. Literally every bill they pass has a new protection against money going to abortions because that's the only thing that matters to these creepy little weirdos. In any event, Trump doesn't actually care at all about abortion. Dumbasses, wake up. He doesn't care about it. He's not a religious man. He's not a religious conservative. He doesn't care if you get an abortion or whatever. He sometimes postures to get the sheep to support him, that's it. But whatever, that's good for us because apparently he wants them to back off a little bit so then they can get some sort of deal. And we'll see if we get any deal. Even if we get one in the House, it looks unlikely to pass in the Senate, but let's break down some of the responses because conservatives were not happy about that. Some of them are the actual religious extremist nut jobs that they claim to be, not like Donald Trump where it's just an act. One Republican said, I almost fell out of my chair. Asked for his reaction, Senator James Lankford, a lead proponent of Hyde protections, replied, I'm not flexible in the value of every child's life. Children are valuable. And so I'd have to get up to the context of what he meant by that. Of course, there he says every child's life. We could test that in a lot of different ways. What's going on in Venezuela? What's gonna happen there? What about Palestinian kids? I think you mean a certain subset, a certain melanin count of children's lives. But anyway, that's what he said. The president of the Susan B. Anthony Pro-Life America organization said in a statement that Trump's comment amounts to an abandonment of a decades-long commitment, saying, for decades, opposition to taxpayer funding of abortion and support for the Hyde Amendment has been an unshakable bedrock principle and a minimum standard in the Republican Party. If Republicans abandon Hyde, they are sure to lose this November. And I don't know if that's what's gonna get people. Like, do you think the regular Americans are gonna switch their vote because Trump told them to loosen up on the Hyde Amendment? Look, by the way, even if they don't put a new restriction in, they'll still have all the ones that they've been stacking up for literally decades. So I don't necessarily get it, but I do know that this occurs in an issue that is not going well for the Republicans. Polls have turned very much against Republicans on the topic of healthcare, and it's only gonna get worse as people's ACA premiums continue to rise because they didn't extend those subsidies. But Sharon, what do you think?
I think the backlash could come from these staunch religious groups. But as far as the Republicans who are pearl clutching and just, oh, my mouth flew open, I couldn't believe it, they'll be fine. Even the guy, Mike Johnson, with his beady eyes and those glasses, and he goes to church every Sunday, but he doesn't. I mean, he's fine with war and all kinds of things that are just disgusting. So it's not gonna help Donald Trump, and the religious groups will probably say, come on now. But it's neutral. It's not gonna really matter. I don't think it's really gonna matter. No one's gonna switch and do this and that constituents-wise, but I guess he's so distracted with a bunch of different things because he causes so many problems and he's trying to dig his way out of it. It's just gives me a headache. It really gives me a headache.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, the issue, the fact that you would be more annoyed at him over that than the fact that he killed the extension of the ACA credits, which they would actually save people's lives. Like, these people would rather that you can't spend the money on kids, but you also can't spend it on your healthcare, and nobody has healthcare, so screw the adults. These people are utterly twisted in their brains, and the country is not undergoing some sort of massive evangelical revival like they desperately hope that it is. People just want to be able to afford to buy food, to have health care, to be able to drive to their jobs if they're forced to go into the office. That's what they want. They're pragmatic and practical, and the polls are revealing that.